Hey everybody, Boneful here. So what I have in my hand is version 3.0 jig, which you have ordered or you have in your possession right now. And with that, I thank you very much for your support. So what I thought I'd do in this video is do an instructional video, a step-by-step on how to install this to make it easier for you to understand how to install this on your drill press or your mill press. All right, so once you get your box, this is going to be the content. So you have your two rods, your bottom plate, and the top plate. And then I'll have this box in here too as well. This is your hardware box. So it comes with instructions, just basic instructions. I'll throw a little sticker in there. And also your parts list. Okay, I've double checked to make sure every part is in there. Two things will be included are the knobs, right? I've attached the washers to the knobs. You got the Vevor XY table bolts. You have the Vevor XY table T-nuts. You have the rod hardware. We have the threaded coupler along with the nuts and washers. And we have mill press bolts and washers. And last but not least, if you have a mill press, these are the mill press T-nuts that'll be included in there. So if you have the Vevor XY table, this is what you'll need. Do not throw these out. Just in case you do get a mill press in the future, you will have this hardware. So keep it handy. Do not chuck it. The only tools you're really going to need are a 19mm socket and 11/16 wrench or socket, either one. So the main difference between the 3.0 and my previous versions is you have this machine hole right here. 4 of them, right? So the inner holes right here, these fit the Vevor XY table, and these will fit every type mill press available on the market today. Again, the previous versions, it was only limited to the Rong Fu style mill press. So these will fit Jet, these will fit Grizzly, these will fit Rong Fu, and any other type mill press table that is out on the market today. So I'm going to show what I have. I personally have the Rong Fu mill press, which looks like this, right? It may look similar to the Innovative and Jayhawks that are out on the market today, pretty much same exact thing. So what you want to do to get this set up is, first of all, you want to zero out the table. So one thing you're going to need, especially if you're going to start doing your own stuff, is a plug cutter, okay? These are around 170 bucks. And this will help you zero out the XY table with the ball so you know where 00 is, okay? So we're going to throw this in the chuck. Right, so you're going to place the bottom plate right on here and make sure this top part is clean. I've got my T-nuts in here, right? Slid them right in here. And there's two different ways you can install this, right? So on my mill press here, I have this up forward like this. You can also move this back if you wanted to, and then just move, that will allow you to move the top table more forward if you wanted it more forward. I just chose to put it right here for now. I'm going to put my T-nuts in the position, and then I have my mill press bolts right here. And all I'm going to do is put the lock washer in there like that with the regular washer and tighten it down. And I'm going to do that on all 4 sides. So you'll tighten these down just until they barely touch the top. With these bolts, when you bolt them down, you're only going to just put them in there nice and loose because you're going to grab your bowling ball and you're going to find 0 on your XY table. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this down. I have my plug cutter in the chuck, and hopefully you can see this. So when I bring it down, you see a little bit of a gap right here. Okay. So my job is to make sure there is no gap. All right, so I'm going to bring this down, and then that's where I move the jig. Until there's no gap. Now we turn it to the Y-axis, the same exact thing. All right, remove the ball and then finish tightening these down. Once you've zeroed out the XY table with the bowling ball, with the plug cutter here, and you have it all locked down, you have the jig all bolted down nice and tight, now you can install that adhesive tape that I have right back there and make sure it points to 0. And that's your x-axis. And then you'll come down here and I have my y-axis too as well. So you're gonna make sure that's at 0 as well. And that's when you can install that tape and then you're good to go for 0, 0. So whenever you move the table, all you have to do is just bring those down to 0 again. And then you'll know you're 0, 0'd out. It's not a bad idea to just always double check that with the plug cutter. You bring that down to the top of the ball and you should be good to go. Okay, so I've installed the threaded coupler onto the rod here. And all we're gonna do is just screw it into the bottom part of the jig here. And I usually get gloves, grippy gloves. It helps. It doesn't hurt your fingers with this thread. And you'll just hand tighten them down until it hits the bottom of the XY table here. And now you're gonna tighten up these threaded couplers here. Again, 11/16 wrench. Tighten them down just till the lock washer is flat. Is install the nuts. And I'll bring them down about 1 inch to 2 inches right now. We'll put our washers on there. And then we'll throw a bowling ball back in there. And this is the most important part of installing your jig. So you're gonna tighten the top knobs down, making sure that that washer on each side is in the groove on the top plate. And you're gonna tighten it down until it can't go anymore. Okay, that'll be as tight as it can go. And you verify that by making sure the ball doesn't move anywhere. And you're making sure that it's completely flat. Now the next thing you're gonna do is bring this up until it touches the bottom of the top plate of the jig. Okay. And that's it. That's all you're gonna do is tighten it down. And just lock the top nut onto the bottom nut. That's all you're doing. And you may need 2 3/4, or if you just take this top plate off. I have a wrench and a socket. And I can just hold the bottom one in place while I tighten the top one. And that's it. We'll make sure this one's tight as well too, once we're at it. All right, it's not going anywhere. Put our washers back on. Top plate on. And last but not least, we put our knobs on. Making sure that the knob washers fit in the grooves on the top plate. And you're gonna tighten it down until it can't go anymore. And there you have it, right? Ball isn't going anywhere. You can verify it by trying to move it as best you can, and it is not budging. That's how you know it's secure. Or if you get an older ball that has been sanded quite a bit, you may have to adjust those. So I do not recommend putting Loctite on these to lock them in that position, because you may eventually need to lower these or raise these. The only time I've had to lower these is from a ball that was sanded quite a bit, resurfaced a bunch of times. So it shrunk down the actual diameter of the ball. But other than that, pretty much this will stay the same. This has stayed the same for about over 100 balls. It was just that one rare ball that was resurfaced quite a bit where I needed to just lower them down. So one of the things we learned is You can use a hook to hook this, but make sure it's padded. Use a rubber or a soft padding, because if you use just straight aluminum or metal on metal will wear out over time, and you'll get a little bit of wear on this side. So just make sure if you do use a hook, it's a nice padded hook, and it will last you forever if you do that. Okay, so we can put that on like so. Boom, lock it down in place. And there you go. We're ready to drill, right? Ball wasn't going anywhere. I can shake that as much as I want. There is no spinning on this thing whatsoever. And so that's it. That's the version 3.0 jig. Hope you guys are happy and satisfied with your purchase. I thank you very much. Another thing that you can do too, if you want to make this all shiny and neat, this just came straight off the CNC machine. That's why it looks like it does. And yours will look similar as well. But if you do want to get rid of these marks, these lines, all you have to do is just get sandpaper and start off with a rough and go up to a very fine, and you can actually get this to a mirror finish. I got my first version up to a mirror finish, and I kind of regret doing that because when the light was shining down on this, it kind of blinded me. So you can make this really look like really cool and chromed out looking, but just know that when the light's shining on it, it will be kind of blinding. So not recommended, but it's something you can do. If you do get any kind of minor scratches around here at all, just take a fine sandpaper, 2,000, 3,000 grit for about a minute or two, and it'll get rid of all those scratches. So hopefully I made this pretty easy for you to understand and make it a cinch for you to install this on your press. If you have any questions at all once you get the jig, feel free to email me at thebowandfool@gmail.com or leave a comment down below. This video is only being sent out to those customers that have bought the version 3.0 jig. So once again, I want to thank you for your support and thank you for buying a 3.0 jig.